news tonight. President Muhammadu Buhari commissions light rail system in Abuja. And in business, Federal Airport new terminal to begin operation in October 2018. And on the foreign scene, the United Kingdom calls for close economic ties with the European Union. Hello and welcome to Superscreen Flagship News, broadcasting to you live from the city of Lagos State, Nigeria. I am Olamide Onga. Many thanks for joining us tonight. President Muhammadu Buhari has commissioned light rail systems in Abuja. The president said a modern rail service will bring about a boost to the economy and enhance social life in the city. President Buhari also said the commissioning of the light rail is evidence that his government is delivering on its promises. The president urged the Federal Capital Territory Administration, especially the management of the rail services, to ensure efficient operations, good customer service, and maintenance culture and operations punctuality of the rail. And now the Oni of Ife and Ohaneze Ndigbo have condemned the alleged police harassment of Akita State Governor Ayodele Fayose. They made this view in an interview with Superscreen Television and this report.
Reactions have continued to trail the alleged harassment and brutality meted on Governor of Akita State, Ayodele Fayose, while the Oni of Ife, King Enito Oguwusi, calls for a peaceful and credible poll. President of Ohaneze Ndigbo condemned the act, insisting that Nigeria's democracy is being threatened.
We want to have peace. We want to continue to live in peace. We do not want crisis. We want to appeal to all the authorities that they should please step up with everything they're doing to ensure that we have a free and fair election. There is a lot of tension in Ekiti right now. We are not happy about it. We are very concerned. We do not want the southwestern part of this country to become a battleground.
We are so worried because if it could happen to him now, tell me what can happen to the man on the street on that very day of election. It shows that he could be taken and locked up in the prison without him casting his vote. So therefore, we condemn it totally. Completely, totally. Absolutely what happened was wrong, and the government must come up to tell whoever that stopped them, even after the Supreme Court have ruled that you don't need so and so to conduct a rally, and yet the 10th thing happened.
Reacting further, these legal practitioners decried the action of the police, saying it is an infringement on the governor's rights under the law.
If we look at what happened there, I think the police went beyond their bounds as given to them by the Constitution and the Police Act. And their function is clearly stated in the Police Act and the Constitution of the Federal Republic and other relevant laws, to the extent that what they are supposed to do was to give protection to the people conducting a peaceful rally or peaceful march.
On the way forward, they made a renewed call for state policing, amongst others.
We condemn it totally, and I don't think that the government, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is the commander-in-chief that commands the police, should be able to call the police people that did it and possibly recall them and send another team to that very place.
What you need to do now is to query the Inspector General of Police and make sure that this gets to the attention and knowledge of all Nigerians.
It remains to be seen how the election in Ekiti State will turn out.
And now the National Chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Uche Secondus, has led the National Working Committee of the party to the National Assembly to protest the alleged police molestation of Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose. Speaking to journalists, Secondus urged the National Assembly and international community to intervene in the matter.
We have come so that you can intervene by the oversight function of the National Assembly. You have the right The mandate is with you by the Constitution to query and to examine and carry out your oversight function on the executive and the security. The security agencies cannot be above the law. No. The executive cannot be above the law. No. We are aware that INEC has printed result sheet to do replacement by some security agencies. They carried it out in some states, and they are now ready. They did it in Edo. They are now ready to do same in Akita and preloading. Is that the type of democracy that we want? No!
Everybody in Nigeria can see what is happening right now. So the decision is ours to choose a law-abiding, party, or to choose those who are ready to kill at the, for anything. I think the electorate should begin to make up their mind on what to do about Nigerians. Otherwise, we will not have a country. Also, I'm calling on the international community not to keep quiet. Nigeria is a very great country in Africa. If anything happens in Nigeria, it will affect the whole continent.
We're skeptical. So we are not sure what's going to happen on Saturday. Nobody. There are too many uncertainties. And we are here because of these uncertainties. And we believe that if we cry out loud as early as possible, and if this country seeks for its survival in democracy, then we hope that the message will go to the right quarters and the right decisions will be taken and the right measures.
It's not about PDP or APC or anything. We are now talking of Nigeria. We are talking of Nigeria that they want to push over the brink. You know how tenuous the situation in this country is now. And we are going into an election, and we are seeing that people do not care what happens to this country, and they want to push us over the brink. I had to get up. All the founding members, mothers and fathers of PDP came out. Our presence here is making the statement that no, we want to take back our country.
Also at the protest was a former Senate President, Adolphus Wabara, the former Minister of Health, Professor A.B.C. Nwanzu, and former Majority Leader of the Senate, Mulikat Akonde-Adeola, amongst others.
Democracy is about people free speech and free expression. So I want to thank you because what we've done is within the tenets of democracy. I want to assure you that as representative of the people, we will never support anything that is anti-democratic. We'll do everything possible to ensure that we continue to work within the tenets of democracy. We've heard you. We are going to make contacts with all the institutions of democracy, especially as we concern Ekiti State. We'll make contact with INEC. We'll make contact with the police and other security agencies to ensure that they are neutral. I want to assure you that we'll do that as soon as possible so that in Ekiti there will be free and fair election.
And as part of the directive from the national leadership of the People's Democratic Party, the Edo State chapter of the party staged a peaceful protest along major streets in Benin City to deliver a letter regarding the unfortunate development in the state. The State Publicity Secretary, Chris Naikari, said the National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Adams Oshomole, has brought talks to Ekiti State to reach Saturday's governorship elections.
In solidarity with Nigerians, and actually in sympathy with Nigeria for having such a despotic government in power that has not turned state power to power of tyranny and that of terrorism. We have come to plead with the press to talk, to write about these ugly incidents and tell the government that democracy cannot survive this way. Yes. In PDP, we believe in the rule of law, we believe in democracy, and we believe in Nigeria. However, if we are pushed to the wall, we will fight. We will resist any attempt to rig, to write results the way Adams Oshomole did it for 8 years here in Edo, in the election taking place in Ekiti State. He has imported his thugs from Edo State to go and write results, go and intimidate voters in Ekiti. Yes. They imported them into Ekiti to go and do the rubbish he did here in Edo State. I want to send a message to our people in Edo State that are being used once again. that this election is not their own.
Yes.
If they cannot come out to openly campaign for people to vote for Buhari, they should not be used to write election, to use for thuggery, to use to intimidate people in other states.
However, receiving the protesters, the Nigerian Union of Journalists Financial Secretary Lucky Isibo told the protesters to go on with their peaceful protest and they should not give way to anyone who is not part of them to take over the protest by creating problems.
Deputy Commissioner of Police Operations, Mr. Latuji Ayodele, met with us and he said he was the one that stood in for the Commissioner of Police. We told him that we came to register a very peaceful protest against the very sad development in Akita State, where a sitting governor, deputy governor, and so many party leaders of PDP were yesterday humiliated, tear gas, and you knew what happened. So we have come to tell them that election in Akita State is Saturday. We are saying that we want a very peaceful election. We want an election where you will have one man and one vote, one youth, one vote, one woman, one vote. We are tired of bloodletting.
As you go about your protest, be peaceful and ensure that hoodlums do not hijack it and you make evil opportunity out of it to start rampaging all over the place. As you go about protesting, I want to assure you that your message to the government, all the various medium here, we use them to reach out to the public.
And now the Nigerian Senate has called on the Nigerian Air Force and the police to carry out an aerial surveillance of Sokoto, Zamfara and Kebbi State to identify the hideouts of bandits causing mayhem in the state. This followed the motion moved by Senator Adamu Aliero, who decried the murder of 40 people in Sokoto State by armed bandits on Monday.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, from the information we gathered even yesterday night, these bandits are still operating within that area. Unfortunately, law enforcement agencies have not gone there to checkmate what they are doing. This shows that is serious laxity in the way security agents carry out their activities. All we need now is an area surveillance of the area so that these bandits can be located and ground troops can go and get them and deal with them decisively.
The lawmakers noted that the killings have been going on for over 2 years without any meaningful security contributions. All the lawmakers in the contribution to the debate said there is a need to have follow-up records describing the killings as a serious issue that requires synergy between the DSS, the police, and the armed forces.
From politics, Mr. President, what I'm trying to say is this. My brothers and sisters from Plateau, from Benue, from Taraba, and everywhere also have similar problems, and anytime they come up, you hear Fulani herdsmen issues, and I have always cautioned, this is one of the divisive tendencies that we have. Let us give this issue the name it requires so that we all can be united in fighting it.
Or what other people will say, it's just about doing the right thing, but for now, we are not doing the right thing that will curtail this killing. This killings is happening every day. There are some killings that are not even reported. Today, human life in Nigeria is nothing. Many killings are taking place about, all these killings about 8, 4, 5. That one people don't even report it. It is when it gets to maybe 30, 40, 50 that you even hear, even the press now, they are even tired of reporting the killings. Look at today's newspaper. You will even see the killings. Because even the press are getting tired.
This was a very terrible situation that happened on Monday. In fact, the number of people killed in that village was more than where he was killed. That's the father, that's the village head.
And then immediately after that, they came. They were there briefly. And the people who are monitoring them, that's the bandits. Immediately after the army and the police left the place, they just came in and started killing.
Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party PDP Caucus in the Senate has asked the federal government to set up a judicial panel to investigate the alleged attacks on Akita State Governor Ayodele Fayose. Senate Minority Leader Godswill Akpabio, who spoke on behalf of the caucus today after a closed-door session, condemned the attack, saying it violates the immunity clause as enshrined in the governors by the Nigerian Constitution.
The unfortunate incidents that occurred in Akita State, where the governor of that state was seen with a collarbone and of course actually alleging that he was beaten by security agents and that they used the butt of the gun and hit his head, hit his neck and all. And so as a caucus, we believe that this kind of incident needs to be investigated very thoroughly. So whilst we condemn any attack on a sitting governor as a total rape on the Constitution, because it violates the immunity clause in the Constitution of Nigeria, we call on the federal government to immediately set up a judicial commission.
And now the National Vice Chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Eddie Oyefeso, has expressed confidence in achieving victory at the polls in Ekiti State. Oyefeso disclosed this today while reacting to the crisis in Ekiti State.
Security for an election itself is not a bad thing. But when the security provided is meant to protect, to secure, to give on the advantage to one of the parties in contest, it becomes a criminal act. And that's exactly what is happening in Ekiti State. If Kayode Fayemi is allowed a free movement across the state, and then suddenly Dr. Peter Ayodele Fayose is constricted into the government house, blocked by, APC tanks and thousands of policemen, then you can see that the essence of what they try to achieve is to muzzle the PDP and cower us. But they are so wrong. I can guarantee you the fact that we're going to win on Saturday, and that's what we intend to do when we win in Ekiti.
While he urged Ekiti electorates to come out and vote without fear, he maintained that the election must be counted in the presence of all to justify a credible poll.
When you try to rig violence, you never know how long it will take and who will be affected. We are going to protect our people through education. Their PVC can separate and liberate them. We are going to protect our people by ensuring that we constantly alert them about the machination of the APC government and APC party. And
coming up tonight on Superscreen Flagship News, the Federal Airport new terminal to begin operation in October 2018. That's details after the break. Stories. The Managing Director of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN, Saleh Dunoma, says the new terminal building under construction at the Nnamdi Ezekwe International Airport in Abuja will start operation by October. Dunoma disclosed this to journalists when President Muhammadu Buhari inspected the project at the inauguration of the Metro line. He said the government and other stakeholders were prevailing on the contractors, China Civil Engineering and Construction Company, to ensure the completion of the project by August 2018. And our entrepreneurs have been urged to be more committed to their business in spite of risky challenges. This appeal was made by the Chief Operating Officer of Superscreen Television, Igodalo Osazua, at the forum to mark his birthday.
A fire extinguisher is an active fire protection device used to extinguish or control small fires, often in emergency situations. This fire safety equipment is necessary in every home, offices, churches, and cars because it aids individuals' escape in the event of a fire. Today in Nigeria, while some dealers import fire extinguishers into the country, only one man produces, and this man is Igodalo Osezwa. Speaking on business strategies, he encouraged entrepreneurs to embrace commitment to work even in the face of challenges.
I'm the only one who produced extinguisher in Nigeria. Every other person in office, we were consistent. We saw something, we saw a cost, and we were like, we must make it in this area. And today, we are known. And Superscreen is not going to be different from other businesses that I have handled.
Coincidentally, Ike Osezua, as he is called, is the Chief Operating Officer of Superscreen Television. Interestingly, his staff stormed his office unaware to give him a surprise birthday badge.
About Dico, who is a big man. Everybody knows. Doing it, celebrating Deacon. So when I say Deacon, you say go. Deacon, go. Deacon, go. When I say Deacon, you say go. Deacon, go. Deacon, go. Verse 1.
You're gonna hear from the entertainment guy. I'm on the flame, so you gotta drop it hot. Let's go.
Okay, go. So let me drop it like it's hot. It's birthday.
And his staff were quick to reflect on his qualities.
I'm happy I met you. To not share this date with you really made me who I am. Like the message I sent to you this morning, that inspiration to all of us.
I want to say happy birthday. Well, Deacon is someone that will actually push you for success.
He has a very forgiving spirit. No matter how odd if he feels about whatever you have done.
He's somebody that is, when he put his hand on his plow, he doesn't look back. He'll fight for it, he takes it to the end. And if he says, I'm going for this is where I'm going, nothing distracts him.
His determination and his focus has really inspired me.
With him, something new came up.
He has not disappointed in any way, because he's a man that says it the way it is. Yeah. When he says it, he acts on it.
You're a man that makes a way where there seems to be no way. I know there's God who is no one, but you are a representative of it.
Wisdom speaking.
Okay. Yes, he is.
Responding, the COO, who is overwhelmed with the birthday party, expressed commitment to uplifting the state of Superscreen Television.
I say thank you for celebrating me. I pray that the blessing from on high will rest upon each and every one of you. I have started several businesses for people, and I have royalties from there. But I'm thanking God for bringing me to Superscreen, because I have never been involved with anything that did not succeed. I have never. And Superscreen have just started their story.
Amen. As it stands, expectations are high that he will be able to transform the state of Superscreen as he has done with other businesses in the past. Adinke Weya Jiboy, Superscreen News.
And now on the foreign scene, the British government has published its highly anticipated Brexit white paper, which lays out its proposal for a split with the European Union. The 104-page document calls for close economic ties with the bloc through a new free trade area, as well as a common rule book for goods. The document says the UK will allow citizens to travel freely and without visa for tourism and temporary business